Good.
Okay.
Through 2 games, is it way too early to make any impressions?
You're exactly right.
So, but
You're going to ask me anyway what my impression is. You know, so.
What did you like against Brooklyn?
We won. That's what I liked the most. Played good defense in the second half.
A win tonight would put Manu, Tim, and Tony above the Celtics trio for most wins. 3 players to play together. How do you put that accomplishment into context?
I don't.
What have they meant to the game?
Well, they're 3 wonderful players, but I don't look, nor do they, at records or games played or anything. All they care about is winning games. All that other stuff is pretty irrelevant.
How different do this version of the Celtics look than the one that you've seen the last couple of years under Brad?
I don't know. I haven't watched them.
With the additions they've made with guys like David Lee and Amir Johnson, what do you think those types of players can bring to this team?
Well, they're good players. So hopefully it makes an impact. But I don't watch anybody else at this point in the season. I don't coach their teams. I don't know what I'm doing with my team yet. So that's how I spend my time. I think it's a lot more important than worrying about other teams.
Coaches, you have 15, 20 games with LaMarcus and David and Kyle's improvement to just kind of sort that out. Is that something that sorts itself out over time, or?
Right.
Yeah.
Over time, right.
How involved were you in the free agent process, including LaMarcus?
I was there. I was involved. I spoke.
Did you look for him?
I begged. I got on my knees. I offered my children things like that. Everything I could.
Corey Joseph's had a huge role in this system over the last couple of years, and now you're bringing Raymond McCollum. How is Tony or the other point guards, Patty? How have they helped him to acclimate to the system?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, he's probably a little bit confounded right now, trying to figure out what's going on. But some of that has to happen in his own mind and get some sort of a comfort level before they can really help him too much. But you're right, Corey was huge for us. He's a big loss for us. He saved us many times when Tony was out. It took him a couple of years to develop, but he was a special player for us.
Brad said last week he'd be really interested in being an assistant for Team USA. What kind of selection process we go through? He said,
Well, you're way ahead of yourself.
Is he ahead
the 16? No, you're ahead of yourself. I said with the question. 2016 is what's important right now. I don't exist right now.
Is he someone that would deserve consideration of that?
Any other questions?
Big picture, when you come into the gym, and San Antonio's the model franchise,
Really?
You think about, well, that's what I think. Do you think about the Celtics' history and any thoughts about that?
Well, let me just answer this. I've been coaching the Spurs team for a while now, and when you go down to the arena, coaches have a little office where you can sit and think about the game and work yourself up into a lather and think about things that confuse the issue and forget that it's just basketball. And in that room, there's a chair and there's a table. I have a lamp, and there's one picture on the wall. It's been there for the last 18, 20 years. That's John Havlicek. So I do think about the legacy here.
Pop, when you guys were compiling salary to go after free agents, were you looking forward to that process of recruiting? It's like the first time when you guys have really been active in trying to find a big time guy.
It was different. It was exactly the first time. So RC and I sat in a room just looked at each other and we said, what do we do now? We don't know how to do this. So we just decided to be who we are, and this is us. You know who we are. You want to come or not? And we didn't hire any bands or.
You didn't make the midnight phone call.
No, I didn't do any of that stuff. But I did leave town and come back and talk to him again. So.
Why John Havlicek? Why do you have to pick him?
If you can't figure that out yourself, I can't help you.
But why him rather than anybody else?
You got to pick somebody.
The real question is, did you put the picture up, or was it just already there when they
Actually, it was in my office at Pomona Pitzer when I was coaching there. And so I brought it with me when they brought me to San Antonio, and I put it up again.
Did Havlicek ever see the picture?
You know, I was privileged and honored. One time, maybe, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 years ago, he was in our gym for something. And he came back to my office and sat across from me, and we got to talk a little bit. And I what did I do?
Stammered.
I stammered and that kind of thing, and just stared at him and talked to him a little bit. So that's the only. So I'm sure he saw it because it was right behind me on the wall right there.
He didn't say anything.
I don't think he did. He's not that kind of guy. You know, he probably didn't even notice it. You know.
It's probably not the first time he's gone into a room and seen this picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Greg, in those meetings with LaMarcus, did you mentioned a Sage Steele that you committed to him?
What deal?
To Sage Steele that you committed to him kind of through the deal. Why was that important?
Stage deal?
You mentioned in an interview with ESPN that you committed to LaMarcus to stay through. To not retire.
I'm with you. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
Sorry.
Well, was that important for you? Was that important for him? How did that conversation go?
Well, he outed me. He put the pressure on me. You know? Who knows when you might want to retire? But when he and his agent sat across, and the agent said, "Ask him, go ahead and ask him," I knew it was coming. So I tried to end the meeting. I said, "Okay, where's everybody going? We got to go eat. We got to do something." He said, "No, sit down. You ask him." That's when he hit me. And, said, "What are you going to do? How long are you going to be here?" And everything. I said, "Dang it." So I said, "I'm here." And he just signed a 5-year contract the year before. So the contract was in place. So I told him, "I'll be here."
We're looking forward to it.
Havlicek didn't think you were a stalker.
He didn't think I was what?
A stalker.
He might have. I was pretty silly. Pretty silly. I just can't talk about choices and that stuff, so try to understand that. You know, I can't. That's not even time for that stuff. Okie doke.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.